Would it be a good idea to invest in stocks the same way that you would invest into a retirement account? Let's get into it. First off, what is a retirement account? Some employers call it a 401k, others call it a 403b. There's more out there, but those are the most common ones. And essentially, every paycheck that you get, you set aside a certain percentage of your paycheck and it'll go into this retirement account. Now, there's a lot of people online saying that 401ks don't work, but let's cut all that noise. It works, and it works for a reason. Mainly because most retirement accounts just follow the S&P 500. Now, of course, there's other financial tools in there like bonds or treasuries. But for the most part, if the S&P 500 goes up one day, you could expect your retirement account to go up with it. And same for when it goes down. Another reason why it works, the compounding. Every 2 weeks or every paycheck that you get, you putting money in, no matter where the market is at, that adds up. And it adds up very quick. Now, a lot of people ask me, hey, I want to buy a house in the next few years, or I have some extra money, let's say for my kids, and I want to see it grow for the next 15 to 20 years. What should I do with the money? Let's say if you want to have very little risk, there's nothing wrong with putting the money into the S&P 500 the same exact way that you put into a retirement account. Same way. And what would that look like? Let's go ahead and look at the charts. So what you're looking at here is the S&P 500. The ticker name is SPY, and it's on any single broker that you could think of. And you're looking at the weekly chart. So this goes back 5 years. And every candle that you see here, every stick, that represents 1 week. Now, let's say that you see the market dropping here, and that's when you want to buy. 1 week, you put out 437, and then you put on your recurring investments. Let's say for every 2 weeks, you say, okay, now I'm going to buy here. 453, 2 weeks later, comes down, 426, 2 weeks go by again, 406, one more time, 383. So you invest in all these different times, and there's something called an average cost. What's an average cost? Well, essentially, you take all these numbers and it makes into one whole number. Now, it'll automatically calculate that on their own through the broker. But since this is an example, I like to pull out my handy dandy stock average calculator, and I just plug these numbers in. Let's press calculate, and you get the number 421. What does that mean? Well, that means is that at 421, that's your average cost. And once the price goes above that level, you're in profit. And the more that you buy under this level, the more that you'll bring it down, which is a good thing. Now, some people freak out when it drops and they want to take the money out. But no, that's when you want to double down and put more money in, just so we can bring that average cost down. And remember, when the market's fearful, be greedy. When the market's greedy, be fearful. One of the best things about investing into the S&P 500 is that it rarely has a big drop of, let's say, 25% in a single year. But when it does, it's recovered every single time. So if you do see it dropping quite a bit, that may be a good time to invest more into it. Not financial advice, I'm just saying it's just always recovered. Now, the S&P 500 is very low risk, which is a good thing and a bad thing because it limits how much you can make as well. Now, if you are a little bit more risk adverse, you could try using that same tactic into other stocks as well. Let's talk about Tesla. And I'm only talking about Tesla because that's the stock that I've been holding the longest, and I'm also succeeding with it as well. So let's pull up the charts. So I bought my first share of Tesla back when it was close to all-time highs. I was new, please forgive me. But let's say I bought my first share at around 335, and I started buying more and more throughout the weeks, and I managed to bring my average cost to around 300. Now, when this massive drop happened, I actually freaked out, and I didn't buy any more shares after that. And that was my big mistake. I could have brought this average cost significantly down, and I'd be in a much better position where I'm at right now. But when it pulled back up and it started dropping again, that's when I capitalized like crazy. I kept buying up shares left and right, mainly because I learned from this previous mistake. I bought so many shares, especially at around 180 to 150. I managed to bring my average cost from 300 all the way down to the low 200s. Now, I only mentioned Tesla because I went through the dirt with Tesla, but this could work for any of the Magnificent 7 stocks as well. Let's look at Apple. Could have worked for Apple as well. Every 2 weeks, you buy more. Could have worked for Amazon. Could have worked for Meta, Nvidia. Now, I'm not going to talk about other stocks right now, but make sure you stay tuned and subscribe so you can check it out in a later video. Matter of fact, go ahead and click on that bell button so you can get notified for whenever I do post. Thank you. Now, there's a big misconception saying that this is a lot of work and this takes a lot of practice, but it really doesn't. You just need to install any brokerage account. There's Webull, Fidelity, Charles Schwab, Thinkorswim, which I use, Robinhood, and all you have to do is just look up a few things of how to work that broker's account, and that's it. And then you just watch your money grow and grow and grow, and then you'll see it drop, and then that's where your recurring payments go in, and boom, next thing you know, you have a big account. Now, investing isn't that hard. It's all about taking the action, getting started. That's the hardest part, and the more you do it, the better you get at it. Now, if you got any value from this video, make sure you leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. See you on the next video.